Hey everyone. Today I want to share with you one of the most radical ways that I have successfully shifted deep feelings of hurt and pain and limiting beliefs that kept me in fear and really kept me from taking action in life and stepping in my bigness. And I'm going to repeat this that this is a very radical tool. And it even brings up vulnerability in me to share with you this today. And that tool is so, in the example of, let's say, shame or fear or disgust, being wrong, bad, not good enough, not worthy enough, slutty, all of these things that have been used to demonize and oppress and fearmonger. These are the very things that I consciously chose to face with love and safety and allowed them to not be wrong and allowed myself to not be afraid of them and then actually find and encourage them to feel good and bring pleasure into these beliefs and feelings that I was harboring in my body, maybe for my entire life or since they were placed on me. So the very place that I was afraid of, I was able to bring all of my power back and all of my lost and fragmented parts and aspects through believing those things and feeling the hurt about them was by facing them, letting them be okay that they were here inside of my body. So not making them wrong, because if they're wrong, then we have to fear them. But if they're not wrong or bad, then we have nothing to fear. So I switched that. I shifted that belief and I chose, I don't want to feel wrong or bad anymore. Fuck that. That's not my shit. So I consciously chose that I'm going to allow them to be okay inside of my body. And then I even brought pleasure and feeling good into these very things that were taught and put on me to make me feel bad about myself, either unconsciously by handing down from my ancestors or from patriarchy, from other bullies, unconsciously or consciously. These things were placed on me so that I would feel bad about myself, which then prevented me from being able to feel good and just like live my life as I am and shine in my beauty, right? And so by facing it again, coming back, by facing it in the very way that was taught to make me feel bad, with pleasure and reverence and letting it be okay, welcoming it into my body. By doing that, allowed me to stop being afraid of it. How is it going to have any power over me if I think that it's okay to feel that way, and B, am now finding joy and pleasure and goodness in it, essentially getting off on these beliefs. And so now it cannot control me because I am not affected by it in ways that are negative or closed off or hurtful. And I'm not saying that that doesn't happen sometimes still, but it does not, it's like 80% of the time does not have this hold on me. And of course, I'm going to continue to keep alchemizing this throughout my life, the next 20% of it. But instead, I actually kind of laugh when it comes up and giggle a bit. Oh, really? You know, when those feelings or words come at me, it's like, oh, interesting. Well, I'm going to come back into my body. I'm not afraid of this thing because I've faced it and I did not die. And I'm going to actually bring goodness and pleasure into it and come back into my body because that is my right. That is my birthright to feel good in my body, and so is it yours. So anything that is holding you back or preventing you from feeling good, from feeling anchored in your goodness, from experiencing a sense of safety and belonging in your own body and your own pleasure, this is where I would reclaim it through pleasure and through permission, making it okay. If you have any questions on this, or you would like to practice this on your own, allow it to start little by little, just playing with this, just getting curious, or even just let that truth of my experience and seeing me here, not dead, seeing me here in safety and in my body and pleasure after being taught all of these oppressive things as a child and growing up in my teenage years and even my early 20s. Let that just sink in as a possibility for you as well. That level of freedom that comes with facing those things and taking your power back. And letting it move through your body instead of getting stuck and trapped. What pleasure does is it alchemizes it. It releases it of its tension. Lets it be uncaged and free and wild and raw. Right? It breaks up the energy. It is nourishment. It is sacredness. It is your body's chi, aliveness, creativity, your pleasure, your turn on, aliveness, energy is sacred medicine for you to alchemize all of these things. Even if they try to tell you that you were not powerful and that you didn't have this ability, it doesn't matter. You still do. It is still in your body. It always is there. And so consciously allowing it permission to come back and to thrive and alchemize these beliefs that are really causing you suffering, and accepting that you're ready to let go of the suffering. And even if you're not ready to let go of the suffering, because sometimes we're really attached to our suffering, even just being open to the idea that there is another way of existing that isn't suffering, and that whatever you were taught or fed, you actually don't have to take anymore. You get to feed yourself with organic strawberries and turmeric ginger elixirs and love and compliments and kindness and pleasure. You get to literally feed your body this. You get to feed your energy body. You get to feed the space around you. And you get to bring that power and sovereignty back into your body. And you get to do this over and over and over again, as many times as needed. So I hope this has served you. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to dive deeper into this practice. This is what I teach. This erotic nervous system regulation, this rewilding, this reclamation of all things sex and love, so that you can have your desires, so that you can have aliveness and thrive and receive the love that you want, and feel this like in and out flow of energy of love and expansion, and experience your own goodness. Get to know who you actually are underneath all of that, like, get to know who you are and what you desire, and connect with that and start to build a life from that space. So if you have any questions, message me. Thank you. Sending you so much love. Here's to your rewilding. Thank you for being here.